What is going on, everybody? Back at it again with another YouTube video. And today, before I get things started, just want to say we are 12 subscribers away from 300. And, with all the continued support, with all this virus things going on and no sports, we've really grown from 200 subs to now almost 300 in less than a month. Since this whole thing has started, Eagles was really the only thing that was was discussionable. There was nothing going on in the basketball world. There was nothing going on in hockey. Baseball stopped, and it was only in spring training at the time anyways. So a lot of my Eagles videos have been doing very well. The Yannick Ngakoue trade rumors were doing well. The draft. And obviously I love the Eagles and I love talking about them. I just didn't want it to get a little repetitive with everything I was saying, so I took a week and a half off from talking about all the Eagles stuff. But, there was some news yesterday that kind of was around the Eagles for a little bit of time, and I just wanted to put my thoughts in on it. But, again, thank you. We are 12 subscribers away from 300, so if you can, hit that hit that subscribe button, and also comment down below what your thoughts about all this going on. Just discuss it down below, and I'll come and talk to you. So yesterday, Brandin Cooks was traded to the Houston Texans from the Los Angeles Rams for a second-round pick. It was Cooks and a future fourth for a second. Now, if I'm the Eagles, I can't really be mad. He's now out of the NFC. And there was no way I was giving up a second-round pick for Brandin Cooks. The guy can't stay healthy, and I understand. He's a good football player. He's a good receiver when he's healthy, though, and he hasn't been healthy for a while. He's on the field, but is he really there? He didn't get nearly as much targets as he did last year from years prior to that. And it just seems like ever since the hit that he took in the Super Bowl, he hasn't been the same. He's always dealt with that injury, that concussion. He's always dealt with concussions. And he's very injury prone to that. I would rather, and again, there was no way I was giving up a second round pick for Brandin Cooks. There was just no way that was happening. I said it in one of my videos a week or two ago. The most I'm giving up for Brandin Cooks is a fourth or a fifth. Fifth would be the best. Fourth would be the max. And I would think about giving them a sixth and something for next year. But they got a second round pick out of Brandin Cooks. Houston has done an awful job this offseason. Let me get that out of the way. You trade DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson and a pick. You just traded DeAndre Hopkins. He's like a top 3 receiver in this league. And it sucks because the Eagles should have hopped in on that. But then there was the trade came out and then they said they wanted Miles Sanders and a second round pick from us. Why would we do that? Why would we give up Miles Sanders for DeAndre? I understand where it makes sense in some cases, but there was no way I was giving up Miles Sanders, who is probably our franchise running back. Let's be honest here. We just lost Jordan Howard. Boston Scott is not a franchise back. He's just not. He's not a franchise back. He's a good third down back. He's a good second back to have. He's a good utility guy. He can throw a block here. He can catch the ball there. But he's not Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders can catch the ball out of the backfield. He just broke a record for most all-purpose yards by an Eagles rookie. He's a beast. He's a beast on the football field. It took him he should have scored week 1, but after that it took him a couple weeks to really find his spot. He struggled against the Packers, and Jordan Howard had a very good game against Green Bay, in Green Bay. But other than that, he did great against the Bills. He did great against the Cowboys. He did great against a lot of teams. The Redskins, he had 2 touchdowns. The Cowboys, he should have had 2 touchdowns. It's just, Miles Sanders is too much to this team to give up, especially along with the second-round pick. Giving up Miles Sanders is one thing, but then throwing in a top 10 receiver from this year's draft into that, you can't give that up. We have the 53rd pick in this year's draft for the second round. You're giving up a guy like Denzel Mims. You're giving up a guy like Jalen Reagor. That's who you're giving up for DeAndre Hopkins, and then you're also giving up your franchise running back, who played such a key role in the team's success last year, who really molded into his own to show his future with this team. Like, you saw glimpses of very good, high probable things last season from Miles Sanders. He's a fan favorite. I love the guy. I think he's probably my favorite Eagle. I'm not going to lie. It's either him, Fletcher Cox, or Carson Wentz. But ever since Sanders has been in the league, he's just been a guy that I really enjoyed watching. Honestly. And he was a rookie that we really hit the jackpot on him. Because he's a very good rookie. He was a very good rookie. He's a very good running back. And now he's already our franchise running back. Him with Boston Scott, and then you can throw in whoever for third down back. Because we still don't have a guy. It is now April 10th. We still do not have a wide receiver that we picked up, and we're not going to until the draft, which is in 13 days. Thank God. So we don't have a receiver. We don't have an offensive lineman. Like, from the things that we lost. So we lost our third down back. Not that we used him much anyways at the end of the year, but we still lost him. We lost Jordan Howard. We picked up a lot of defensive players. We picked up Darius Slay. We picked up Will Parks. We picked up Jatavis Brown. We picked up Javon Hargrave. We picked up Nickel Roby-Coleman. We picked up those guys. The defense is fine. As of right now, I'm fine with the defense. If you want to go draft a linebacker in the 3rd or 4th round, go ahead. As long as you draft a wide receiver in round 1 and a wide receiver in round 2, that is all that matters. That is all that matters to me. You need to go out. You need to draft a guy like Denzel Mims. You need to draft a guy like Jalen Reagor, Henry Ruggs, CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy. You need to draft a guy like that that's going to make an immediate impact on your football squad. You have to do it, or this team is wasting Carson Wentz's prime of his career. He's now 26 years old. I think he might be 27 now. Besides the fact, you need to get this man some help on the offensive side. You are missing the entire left side of your line. You have Kelsey, you have Brooks, and you have Lane. That's your right side. The right side is fine. Kelsey's getting older. You have now Jordan Poyer and Andre Dillard as your left tackle and your left guard. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Dillard. I think Dillard's going to be a good player in this league. But do I trust Jordan Poyer enough to go out there and play 14 games, 16 games for me? No. He was a backup. And he's not a Vitae backup. He is a backup. He's a backup. He's a guy that you need to throw out there when, like, a Vitae gets hurt. He is. I like the guy. He's decent. But he's not a 16-game starter for your football team. He's not. And I think the Eagles need to draft wide receivers in round 1 and 2. Look at the offensive linemen in round 3. If you don't like them, take a linebacker. If you like one, take an offensive lineman. But either way, third and fourth round, you got to draft a linebacker or an offensive lineman. You need to do it. I think the defense is fine. Yeah, you go out, you draft a linebacker because you lost Grugier Hill. You did get Jatavis Brown, but how much of a factor is he really going to be? And, obviously you are struggling on the linebacker spot. You don't have Nigel Bradham. You don't have Grugier Hill. You have Nathan Gary, who was a defensive back, and now all of a sudden he's a linebacker. Do I trust Nathan Gary? I don't know. He was okay last year. He struggled with tackling, though. His main flaw in his game was tackling in the open field. I went to 5 games last season at the Link. Every single game, I swear, whoever I was with always said, number 47 really can't tackle. I went with my brother like 4 games, and he said it every game. He said Nathan Geary cannot tackle to save his life. And, looking at it after game 1, after the first game that I went to, I just kept analyzing Nathan Geary. And he wasn't really wrong in that sense. Nathan Geary really had he really struggled tackling in the open field. I completely agreed with him. Now, he's not awful. He's serviceable. You can use him. But how long is that? How long is a serviceable secondary position linebacker going to work for your football team? How long is it really going to work? But I'm glad the Eagles didn't go out and get Brandin Cooks, because they gave up way too much for him. The Houston Texans gave up a 2nd-round pick, and there was no way I was giving up a 2nd-round pick for an injury-prone wide receiver that cannot stay on the field more than off with concussions. He's in concussion protocol for at least 2 weeks every time he gets hurt. That's already 2 weeks out of your season, and you just traded away a 2nd-round pick for this guy. I'm glad the Eagles didn't do it. I'm glad Howie didn't get him. I'm glad. Howie, you did the right move. Good job for not getting him, because there was no way I was giving up a 2nd-round pick. I honestly would have been mad if we got Brandin Cooks for a 2nd-round pick, honestly. But that's it for this video. Again, if you haven't already, leave a like, leave a comment, and most importantly, subscribe. We are 12 away from 300 subscribers. Thank you all for the continuous support over this rough sports time. Stay safe, stay inside so we can get back into our stadiums and cheer on our Philadelphia teams. Thank you all for watching. I'm out. Peace.